on offense because the defense has been playing so well. The Tigers punted 3 times last Saturday, despite the analytics indicating the coaching staff should go for it.
We have a top 10 defense, I believe, in the country, and we need to play to that strength. And so sometimes you have to pull back a little bit here and there. He's being a great coach from that perspective. They want to score points too, but sometimes I'm tapping the brakes here a little bit in those situations because that's going to be the identity of this football team.
LSU hosts Southeastern on Saturday. LRN. ULM is back at work getting ready for an opponent. The Warhawks will head to El Paso to face UTEP on Saturday. ULM is coming off a 73-0 loss to Alabama. Head coach Bryant Vincent says he'll find out a lot about his team with how they respond against the Miners.
I believe your response and how you respond determines really what you're made of. There's going to be failure. Sometimes you're going to fall hard. You're going to get knocked down. So what do you do next? And this is a marathon. It's not a sprint. And it's not how you start. It's how you finish. And this team will be remembered how they finish, not how they begin.
It's been a tough start for the Saints as they fell to 0-2 with a loss to San Francisco on Sunday. New Orleans is preparing for its first road trip as they'll face Seattle this Sunday. Seahawks are coming off a 31-17 win at Pittsburgh. Bengals quarterback Joe Burrow needs a surgery on his toe and is expected to miss 3 months. Jaden Daniels has a knee sprain and might not start this week against Las Vegas. LRN.
KSYL.
As we wait to see what interest rates may do, as we wade through conflicting reports on the economy, here's one important statistic that, for some reason, no one is reporting, and it's all about AI. I'm Kim Commando for ExpressVPN, my go-to for online privacy. One-click hide your internet activity from hackers and snoops. Get 4 extra months free at expressvpn.com/Kim. AI is doing an incredible job propping up the economy in areas where it lags. This year, more AI data centers are being built in office buildings. It's a genuine spending frenzy. You see, you just don't build one data center. You build 3 or 4 giant ones clustered together because they consume so much electricity, it requires a substation especially for the data centers. So clustering makes them less expensive. Then there's air conditioning, labor, building materials, and roads. It's bigger than building a subdivision, and there's no end in sight. Good for jobs, the economy, all of us. Be sure to get my free newsletter at getkim.com. Imagine this. A stranger breaks into your home, installs hidden cameras, and records everything you do, and then sells all the footage. Outrageous, right? But online, something just as creepy happens every single day, and it's completely legal. In the United States, internet providers can track everything you do online. Every website, every search, even in private mode. That's why I use ExpressVPN. It works like a deadbolt for your internet privacy, hiding your activity from hackers, advertisers, even your internet provider. It also hides your internet location. With servers in over 100 countries, you can change your internet location with just one click. And ExpressVPN works across all your devices, your phone, tablet, laptop, even your smart TV. One subscription covers up to 8 devices. And right now, get up to 4 extra months free at expressvpn.com/Kim. That's right, 4 extra months free by going to expressvpn.com/Kim. Go right now, expressvpn.com/Kim.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics. With 18 providers and 3 locations, someone can see you today.
It's Talkback, Central Louisiana's longest-running talk show. Whether it's the guests or the callers, Talkback is where Central Louisiana begins its conversation.
Well, good morning, old chap. It's nice to have you here on Talkback this morning as we hear the introduction of...
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics. With 18 providers and 3 locations, someone can see you today.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. Futures have been mixed this morning ahead of the start of the Fed's policy meeting that kicks off today, but we won't know until tomorrow what the path for interest rates might look like for the rest of the year. A 1/4-point rate cut tomorrow is widely anticipated. Stocks rose yesterday with gains ranging from around 0.1% to almost 1%. Both the Nasdaq and the S&P 500 closed at new record highs. President Donald Trump's economic advisor Stephen Myron is on his way to joining the Federal Reserve Board, now that the Senate has narrowly confirmed him to the post. The approval sets Myron up to walk into the Fed's Washington offices this morning in time for that crucial meeting. An appeals court blocked the White House from removing Federal Reserve Governor Lisa Cook from her post for now. The divided court in Washington affirmed that Cook can continue working while her lawsuit challenging Trump's move to dismiss her proceeds. Gina Cervetti, Bloomberg Radio.
Good morning. Our Tuesday looks like another warm day with sunny skies. Mixture of sunshine and clouds, actually. Afternoon highs near 94 degrees. Could see a stray shower or a thunderstorm this afternoon. That's the first time we've said that in a while, but only about a 20% chance. 68, the overnight low tonight under partly cloudy skies. And tomorrow looks like more of the same, partly cloudy with that chance of an afternoon shower or thunderstorm. From the Cenla Broadcasting Weather Center, I'm Dave Gratian.
If you'd like to take part in the show today, call the BOM Bank Talk line at 442-8255. That's 442-TALK. And remember, if you're looking to purchase or refinance your home, call Christina Bagwell at the BOM Bank Mortgage Department at 448-2430.
Talkback. To take part in the show, call 442-8255. That's 442-TALK.
All right. Well, welcome back. I was trying to be funny with a British accent that morphed into an Irish accent. And because we heard a new voice, Talkback is brought to you by the Clinics, a nice, friendly female voice welcoming us. And then the Bloomberg report started playing. So we had a little computer glitch that happened this morning, but apparently we are back with you. Good morning on this terrific Tuesday. Nathan Martin, Stephen Maxwell in the studio, as Stephen is consulting with the one and only producer extraordinaire, Dave Gratian. He's going to get us squared away, straightened up, and heading down the right path. So I think we're good and back on the air this morning. Welcome to Talkback. And the British accent kind of threw me, Stephen. That caught me off guard.
Oh, it jumped to commercial, so wasn't really sure what was going on, but looks like we're working for now.
Yeah.
Sometimes technology just does what it wants to do, and we just wait for it to wait to help us out.
It is, yeah, but it was the female British voice. Talkback is brought to you by the Clinics. I'm like, oh, I'm expecting to hear Dave's voice, and so I have no idea. If Skynet has taken over our computers.
Well, it's a foreign influence.
There's a foreign interference in our way of life over here.
That's right.
So, well, we're happy to be with you this morning on Tuesday. It is a lovely day. As Dave's weather tells us, we got some good weather this week. Waking up to nice, brisk temperatures. I had to get up a little earlier than normal. My daughter did a sleep study over in Alexandria, so I had to be there to pick her up. Like, they do a sleep study, but you got to go pick them at 5:30 in the morning. So,
oh, okay.
Yeah, they go to, you drop them off at 8, and then you pick them up at 5:30, and so it worked. I mean, we got her, and we'll find the results later. But I've been up and about and enjoying this beautiful sunrise this morning. I'm sure other places would say it, but we have beautiful sunrises and sunsets in Central Louisiana.
It was really nice this morning. Big old orange orb.
That's a nice word. That's the word. So, hey, we've got a great show for you today. Normally today is on the first and the third Tuesday of the month, we have Matt Ritchie's Economic Update. Matt, as you are aware, is running for a national office in the National Realtors Association, running for treasurer, the national treasurer there. And so he's out of state today. He will be having a little bit of a altered schedule, trying to bring us a show sometimes on Mondays, and then probably after October, be back on his regular routine. But coming up today, later this morning, we're going to have the opportunity at 8 o'clock to hear from some folks that are bringing you a very important event that is an annual event here. That's the Home Builders Association, as they have their annual Home Builder Show. And so that's a great event that's taking place over at the Laborde Earls Entertainment Center, September 20th. And we'll have James Crane coming in this morning to chat with us about that. And then at 8:30, Jimbo Thiels with the Rapides Parish Fair will be here to talk about what's happening at the fair coming up. And you're going to want to find out how you can get your tickets. I will tell you that a few years ago, I learned the secret of getting the buying the sheets of tickets here at Cenla Broadcasting. There's no better way to go to the fair than those sheets of tickets that you can get for half price in advance.
It's really nice getting those tickets. I always have enjoyed the fair and enjoyed all that. And they moved it over there a couple of years ago, so that was nice.
All right. Well, that's gives us an opportunity to hear all the inside information from Mr. Fair himself, Jimbo Fields, who knows. Every time he's come in, I've interviewed him a couple of times. It's really good to hear things like, this livestock show and the competitions for seeing the animals and all the different judging that takes place. There's so much more than just the rides, which is what the majority of us think about. So, hey, I wanted to transition to something. You did a very nice report yesterday on Tom Boucher, the Pineville City Councilman, who is retiring after 24 years, basically. He'll be 6 months shy of having served 24 years on the city council when his resignation or retirement comes in on December 31st. And you did a very nice feature on him and kind of gave me an opportunity to say some things about him. And I don't know what kind of feedback you got on that, but Tom's one of the good guys. And I'm happy for him to get to make his way to Texas and play with the grandkids.
Yeah, he's excited to be around family, something I think most of us would want to do. And yeah, good for him. I guess he's got 5 to 6 more months here.
Well, let's see, we're in September, October, November, December, 3 more months, yeah.
3-4 months, yeah.
There was an interesting, oh my goodness, breaking news. Break it for us, Stephen.
No, Robert Redford has passed away at the age of 89. That is,
wow.
According to the New York Times, let me see, he died in Utah. Utah's been
in the news
a lot. So, 89 years old, Robert Redford, the legendary actor, my grandma's favorite actor.
Wow.
Has passed away at 89.
Well, that's definitely breaking news right there. And if you've enjoyed any of his movies, there were quite a few that stand out. Sneakers is one that I enjoyed. He played not the customary rugged guy, but more of a technology fella. But he's done so many good shows, so that'll be interesting to see how the memorials will pour in for him, and folks will be remembering him. I was going to mention back to Tom Boucher. On the RapidsParishJournal.com, they have a story this morning by Jim Butler, the venerable former editor of the Town Talk, who writes, interest is already bubbling for Boucher's Pineville Council seat.
I bet.
He said, quiet lobbying for the Pineville City Council District 4 seat being vacated by longtime Representative Tom Boucher reportedly began over the weekend. And so when I saw that headline, I wanted to read it. I wanted to see, but he doesn't name any names. And I haven't had any phone calls. So if it's bubbling, it's not bubbling in my direction. It's bubbling somewhere else. Of course, I'm not in that district. But what's going to happen is that in the January meeting, when Councilman Boucher, I don't know if there'll be a special meeting called or not. The city council will have 20 days to appoint someone to serve out the remainder of his term. So chances are in the January meeting, which is the second Tuesday of January, the city council will have to vote to select someone. That will be January the 13th. And on that meeting, on that date, probably, I doubt there'll be a special meeting because there's no reason to have one before that. A person will be named. Interestingly, if the council cannot agree on an appointment in the 20 days, then the governor makes the appointment. And that rarely ever happens, but it just happened up in Monroe, I believe. They were having a hard time with an appointment up there, and the governor stepped in and made an appointment. I'll have to look back and see.
It was a fire chief.
Yeah, fire chief. That's what it was. And so Timothy Williams is named the new City of Monroe fire chief. And it doesn't happen very often that a local group can't agree on who's going to be put in there.
I'm sure y'all will.
Yeah, they'll be. Yeah, I remember when Mary Galloway stepped down, we had several names floated, and it didn't take long to have the consensus on Randy, and Randy is serving very well there. Tom may have a recommendation, and oftentimes the council will hear that recommendation with favor if you've got someone that you've worked with and their interest in the city. So I'll be looking forward to hearing from him if he has a recommendation, and essentially it takes 3 votes, either 3 council members, or if you're tied 2-2, then the mayor will break the vote. The mayor almost never gets to vote, but because if you have 5, you'll never have a vote never have a tie unless someone's absent. But
what district is 4? Where does that encompass?
Well, 4 essentially would be, if you think of the CLECO headquarters, that's kind of the center of that district. So you go out 28 East, the left side, the Dairy Queen side of 28, all the way to Edgewood. Actually, it goes all the way past J.I. Barron, and almost to Susek. It kind of cuts across and it splits up the Oak Brook subdivision to the left, and then it comes back up Susek to Edgewood Drive, and then it can, Pineville Junior High, everything up to Donahue Ferry.
Boy, I thought it was your district.
No, it used to be. So I used to have a lot of that when I was first elected in 2003. I had everything between Susek and 28, and I even crossed over 28 towards 107. But in 2010 and 2020, you have to redistrict because the districts have to be, I think, within 5% population-wise. And my district has picked up Castle Oaks, Shadow Creek, Ocho Rios, Beauchamp, and Legacy Point, 5 new subdivisions. So I've had a lot of people moving in my district, which means I have to give away pieces of it. I have to downsize, so to speak, to keep the numbers about the same. So that's a lot of folks I used to represent. They still call me,
You have to live in the district?
You do have to live in the district, unlike the U.S. House.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah. So somebody living in District 4 that's interested should reach out to the council members, reach out to Tom, and then in January we'll have that selection process. So normally we would have the bottom of the hour break right now, but we don't have that break because it fired. My hands weren't on the board, so I didn't do that.
No, you're good.
It fired on its own a little bit ago, the Bloomberg report. We heard that. So the lines are open on the BOM talk line, 318-442-8255. Give us a call if there's something you want to talk about. I also wanted to mention coming up on Thursday night, there is the Martin Branch Library's 75th anniversary celebration. And that beautiful little branch there on Shamrock Street, just behind the Senior Citizen Center, which is where the old post office was. If you've been here a long time, you remember it as the old post office. But Martin Library is going to be celebrating 75 years of service with an event that starts at 5:30 there in the Martin Library. They'll have some speakers and some live music, have some snacks and refreshments. They'll also have some folks recognizing the contributions of the Martin family. It was Roy O. Martin and his wife Mildred who donated that piece of property to build the Martin Branch Library, and there may be some big news being announced there. I don't know. I'm hearing some rumblings of things, and I don't know if they'll be announcing or not, but I hear really good things for the future, and I think the community definitely needs to recognize the contributions the Martin family have made. And I will, in the interest of complete disclosure, I'm not related to them. It's not my Martins. It's a whole different branch of Martins. If it was my branch of Martins,
say you wish. Huh?
I'd be driving a nicer car and bigger house and all that fun stuff.
We should mandate every child to visit the library once a week in school.
I think that's a great idea. I think, and of course, many schools now have good libraries themselves. They may not have had in the years gone by, but the library has played a tremendously formative part of my upbringing. In the 5th grade, I won a branch library reading competition, and I held on to that trophy forever. I was so proud of that because I read more than anybody else my age, and I think reading is. I know they say RIF, reading is fundamental, but there's no doubt it opens you up to the world in a whole new way.
We probably have less of the problems we have today than if the majority of the population would pick up a book.
Yeah. That's true.
Or a history book.
When you were a child, is there a book that stood out to you as like a formative book that you remember?
It was more fantasy probably, or like fiction. But there's a couple of one that probably no one knows here. But Terry Goodkind was my favorite actor or favorite author in high school, and he wrote a fiction series, very philosophical as well. But he passed away a couple of years ago. Very sad. Of course, the greatest fiction book of all time, Harry Potter. I know you probably don't like that one, but loved Harry Potter growing up.
I like good storytelling. Yeah. And that's some great storytelling.
It's a great story. It's awesome. It just gives you that feels, and it's nostalgic for me.
I haven't read it, but I know great storytelling is great storytelling. My book, for me, I think I was in the 5th or it may have been that summer of the 5th grade. It was Treasure Island by Robert Louis Stevenson.
Yeah.
And here I was, I'm just a Louisiana boy. We were living out in the, I think we were living in I may have been living in Boyce, we may have been living out in the Sharp community. That's where I a lot of my family's from, and many years lived in that area. And so my exposure to life was very limited. But in the pages of that book, I traveled the sea. I went to foreign countries.
Oh, yeah.
The writing was so captivating with the one-legged pirate and all the buried treasure. It absolutely captivated me. And if I ever had to answer your outside the Bible, of course, my favorite earliest book read was that Treasure Island by Robert Louis Stevenson.
What is your favorite book now?
Whichever one I'm reading right now.
Okay.
My favorite book. No, I'll tell you.
What's your favorite, favorite book of all time? Or books? You can do two.
Okay. I think the one that I enjoyed the most that surprised me was Scandalmonger by William Safire.
Okay.
William Safire, well-known, journalist, but he wrote this book about the time from 1790 to 1810, and almost all of the quotes in the book are taken from newspaper articles and personal letters of actual real-life people.
Oh.
And it showed, if we think politics is bad and ugly today, we don't have any clue, because 1790 to 1810, the formation of the Constitution, who's going to succeed President Washington, and the newspapers of that day were all like National Enquirer.
They were all partisan.
And they were all salacious, and I mean,
you had the French papers and you had the English papers, and then you had Thomas Jefferson, who aligned with the French side with the revolution going on over there.
That's right.
And he loved the Enlightenment period, or the Enlightenment thinkers. And then you had Adams, who sided with the British and believed in a more powerful executive. So it was a big battle.
Yeah,
I got to read that book. I didn't know that.
It is a phenomenal. It's a page turner. It really. And it captures you, carries you to those days.
You might like one that's kind of correlated with that. It's called Friends Divided. It's about the friendship and then the fallout between Jefferson and Adams.
Oh, that would be great. Friends Divided. Let me make a note of that. Oh, goodness. There was another 1770. Let's see, was it 1776?
David McCullough.
Yeah, that was another really good, enjoyable book. I really do enjoy the historical stuff.
Me too.
And of course, I also like a good spy thriller too.
I got
you. A Tom Clancy novel will get me.
There's like three books that just stick with me today that I think about. That's 100 Years of Solitude, Gabriel Garcia Marquez. Love that book.
You're making me make notes.
No, it's a classic, of course. He's probably the most famous Colombian of all time. For Whom the Bell Tolls, Ernest Hemingway.
Of course.
Love that one. And Grapes of Wrath, John Steinbeck. Love those books. But it's crazy what everyone went through during the Great Depression. Crazy time.
What was the first one? Friends Divided, you said?
Was that history book, yeah.
Okay.
John Adams, Thomas Jefferson. If you're listening out there and you're into history, I know you probably want to hear about news right now, but Friends Divided is really is a really fantastic book. I think it won the Pulitzer. And then The Bully Pulpit, if you like the Teddy Roosevelt, Taft, yellow journalism time period.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. You and I, we're getting to know each other. We've known about each other for a long time, and I'm finding these geeky things that we have in common.
I love history, man.
All right, we've got a phone call. We're going to go to it. Good morning. You're on Talkback with Stephen and Nathan.
Hey, good morning. Thank you for taking my call.
I know you've got a favorite book.
Well, a bunch of them, but books, it goes deeper than just pleasure. And what we do with our kids is every summer, we would read through the Pilgrim's Progress. I found a version of it that was written in parts. And if anyone doesn't know that story, it is the greatest selling book next to the Bible in all of Western history. I don't know about the East. But it chronicles a person's life from first becoming aware of his sin through his trek through life and then ultimately reaching the celestial city. And it's an allegory. Mm-hmm. And John Bunyan wrote it while he was in prison. He wanted to preach, but it was against the law for him to preach because he wasn't a member of the Church of England. And he kept getting thrown into prison. Well, he had 6 kids. And it was almost like a Joseph story. He was so good in the prison that the warden liked him and would let his kids come to visit him on Sunday. He could preach in prison. In prison, he was allowed to preach. So he preached every Sunday in prison. And they would let his kids. He had this little blind daughter, and so he would tell her stories because she was blind. She was never going to be able to read. And the prisoners would all gather around and listen to this story, and they said, "Yeah, you need to write it. You need to write this down." Well, he got thrown into prison, and for about 10 years. And then he got out. On his way home, he stopped and preached a sermon and got arrested and thrown back into prison. The second time he was in prison, his little blind daughter died. His life was full of suffering, but it brought out of him a depth of understanding of the scriptures and of life that people have used forever. And my boys, in the second part of the book, it's in two parts. The first part is Christian. First his name is Pilgrim, and then when he's converted, his name becomes Christian. And then the second book is his wife. You know, his wife and kids mock him in the book because he's looking at faith, and so he goes on without them. You know, as the scripture says, forsake all. And in the second book, his wife Christiana, she comes to faith, and so now she's leading her 4 boys. And my boys always wanted to be Mr. Greatheart. Mr. Greatheart was the champion appointed to escort her. He had a sword and a helmet and a shield. And so I love that book. I love that story. I love the man. There's a biography of him called The Tinkerer of Bedford. And I highly recommend that book. But, books like that give kids direction. And it helps them to be settled. Because when they're first born and they're growing, they don't know that the TV's not real. The TVs are so big now. They don't know what's real and what's not. And so we set that as parents. And I think about this young man that took Charlie Kirk's life. We found out yesterday he was a furry. And he had a boyfriend living with him who was becoming a woman. And just all these crazy mental issues. It always comes up every time that there's mental illness involved when people do things like this. And I know some people say, oh, being a furry is not a mental illness. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. If you don't know if you're a man or a woman, or you think you're an animal and you have all these deviant desires, then there's something wrong. And I love one of Charlie Kirk's interviews with a young girl who was trying to become a man, and he asked her, do you mind telling your story? And so she told his story, and he said, look, I think what's most important for you is that you become comfortable in yourself and how you were born. And let's get you to someone who can help you and diagnose this. And he was very tender with her. I don't know if you've heard that. It's been bouncing around the internet. He was very tender with her. He didn't come out and condemn her in any way. And you could tell in her voice that she came for a battle. She left more as a friend. And it was very moving. But anyways, sound books, I used to have to I would pay my kids to read. My daughter, I couldn't because she was breaking me. But my boys, I would pay them to read. I'd pay them to read. I'd pay them to memorize scripture. I would pay, $1 goes a long way with a kid. And then I'd also require that they pay half of what they wanted to buy. We would buy them the base school clothes and stuff like that. If they wanted the better ones, then they had to pay half of that, So I used that. I was going to be spending the money anyway, so I thought I might as well get them to read out of it. But anyway, thanks for letting me speak my piece.
I know your favorite history book is, what's his name? Dadgummit. Howard Zinn. I know you read that a lot in your favorite
I did read that, and I read it in ignorance. I read it because it said People's History of the United States. Yeah. That's what his book taught. Oh, man, that's awesome. I got it, and within the first few pages, I realized what I had in my hands, but I read it. I forced myself, and it's
an interesting, different side.
No, it's full of lies. It's full of lies. The founding fathers were not a bunch of rich elitists that wanted to use the average men to fight their wars and make them richer. Almost every one of the founding fathers became poorer as a result. They pledged their lives, their fortunes, their sacred honor to each other and to our country. Zen is a seabed of seething anti-American hatred.
I think Steve was poking
I'm
the
just
bear.
voting a man,
David.
Well, it was, but there are some people who stumble blindly. I did. I mean, that title lured me in.
Sure.
And look, that book has ruined a lot of lives, and it's costly because when people follow our founders, they do better with their lives. They become better citizens, better husbands, better wives, better friends and brothers and neighbors. Those Americanism, what I call Americanism, those fundamental philosophies and principles are time-tested, and they were derived from Christian thought. And so they're based on rock solid. That's building your house on the rock instead of on the sand.
I love me some Thomas Jefferson, but he could have used some personal advice too. So.
Well,
hey guys, I hate to break this camaraderie up. Thank you for your call, brother. We'll be right back after this.
KSYL. Here's a tale of Becky. Didn't know what to do with new meds prescribed and no real cost clue.
She squinted at prices, that can't be right. Then tapped GoodRx and saw the light.
She could get a deal. Book telehealth if you feel.
Learn about those meds without any stress. That one little app does all the rest. Even my horse downloaded it. Dang, save time and money on prescriptions.
Check GoodRx. GoodRx is not insurance.
With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, you get coverage options based on how much you want to pay for car insurance. And then you decide how to spend the rest of your money, because you're in charge. Today, you're going to pay down your credit card bill. But you decide when you'll pay it. Before the due date, so those interest charges don't get you. But you decide if you pay it in full. But you definitely should, because again, interest charges. With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, we'll help you find coverage at a fair price. And then you're in charge. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
You too could have a beautiful smile in as little as 12 weeks. Exclusive to Today's Dental in Pineville. Virtual Align Clear Aligners. The fastest, most convenient, affordable way to straighten your teeth for people on the go. Plus, they're invisible. No one will know you're doing it. Experience the virtual Align difference. Call Today's Dental at 448-4540. It's a general dental facility on Highway 28 East in Pineville, owned by Dr. Jonas Goche. 448-4540.
Get ready, Alexandria. With the class of the Young Temptations, the moves of the Jackson 5, and the energy of Bruno Mars, everybody's going uptown. You will not want to miss this. Live at the Coughlin Saunders Performing Arts Center on Tuesday, September 23rd, it's a show that'll have you dancing in your seat and singing all night long. Tickets are on sale now at louisiana-arts.org or call 318-484-4474 for more information.
It's like a match made in heaven. Louisiana crawfish and Louisiana rice, and man, oh man, they go together, Sha. Think crawfish and rice stir fry. Crawfish and rice casserole, our world famous etouffee. Simple Louisiana ingredients, rice and crawfish. Cajun, Creole, baked, fried, boiled, however you like. Just start with rice and give those little mud bugs some spicy Louisiana love. The proud farmers of certified Louisiana crawfish invite you to visit crawfish.org for recipes. Brought to you by the proud farmers of certified Louisiana crawfish.
970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYL. To take part in the show, call 442-8255. That's 442-TALK. Talk back.
I kept waiting for the British voice to come back on. I really liked it, but we got distracted by the disruption of order of things this morning. So.
Not as good as Dave, but it was like a Siri British voice.
It was kind of Siri-ish, wasn't it? Okay, AI-ish. So conversation is important. Our previous caller talked about Charlie Kirk and the conversations they had. I was impressed with Brian Kelly apologizing for his outburst towards that reporter in the post-game interview. I don't know if you heard about that. We talked about it yesterday. Yeah, okay, that's right. But he since said, you know what, I didn't hold myself to the standard that I should have, and he's already sent, he said he texted Michael Caldwell, I think was the writer or the reporter.
He was BRZ, sports director at Baton Rouge.
Yeah, so we've had a nice apology from Kelly, and hopefully the tone will be different, but interesting backstory of things that were going on there. I think he didn't want to be criticized in that moment. We won. It wasn't a pretty win, but it was still a win, and he kind of wanted, hey, we got to win. And they were like, well, how come you can't get third downs? And how come you can't rush? And how can, so.
It's just amazing to me. And I'm not being rude or condescending, but it's amazing to me, 50, 60, 40-year-old men who are getting that worked up about, can you run the ball? Why didn't you pass it correctly? It's just so dumb to get mad over. If Kelly and he knew he did wrong, he'd be like, we got the win, and we'll try and keep working and improve throughout the year. It's the beginning of the season. Done. He gave that guy exactly what he wanted. He wanted a good soundbite.
He gave it to him.
And he kept goading him on. He's like, well, why can't your offense perform? Well, you can't run the ball. Well, why can't you convert on third down? He just kept pushing and pushing and pushing.
Kind of you asking David Dagerpon about Zen, the right Howard
exactly.
Zen. You were doing following the playbook. Hey, I mentioned the Martin Library's 75th anniversary celebration Thursday night. That's going to be a great day. But I also came across a little tidbit that I didn't know, Tioga High School this past weekend celebrated 110 years. I didn't know Tioga High School was that old.
Interesting.
So they had a little celebration on Founders Day, September the 13th. Apparently, January 30th, 1915, the school board announced the opening of the new Tioga High School that was built for a grand total of $15,328, which...
Wonder what that is now.
I have no idea. But it had 250 student desks, 8 teacher desks. So let's do the ratio, okay? 4 into 125. That's like 30 some odd students per teacher, right?
I guess so. Please don't ask me that.
But I also love this inventory. It had 24 maps, 2 dictionaries, and 400 folding chairs. So that was the beginning of Tioga High School.
2 dictionaries?
2 dictionaries for the whole school, 250 students.
Oh my gosh. I don't think that's enough.
Take turns.
I guess so.
Get in line.
Yeah.
So congratulations to Tioga High School. I have a little bit of a connection there. I have a son that goes to school there. And I, I'm a Pineville High graduate, proud rebel. We hated Tioga. There was that enmity, that built-in enmity. But I will say that having kids in the Tioga system, I'm very impressed with that system. The teachers, administration, that community really does support them well.
One of the craziest things here, because I grew up in Allen Parish, so you go to school where you live, right?
Yep,
That's
right.
the high school you go to. And so when I talk to parents out here, and I have a child for once living in central Louisiana, and I know we're far as away off from going to high school. But they're all like, well, if you want to do this, you go to this school. If you want to do this, you go to that school. Sports, Ash, or, arts, Pineville. It's amazing you get to have those choices.
Yeah.
You get to pick. It brings that competition into it. So I'm learning which school has its own set of strong suits, and it's a different world for me.
Well, J.I. Barron has such a good reputation. A lot of people want to go to it and seek hardship transfers, maybe because a parent works nearby or whatever. It's the largest elementary school, and great kudos to the administration there for many years. Ash and Pineville had kind of battled back and forth for the largest school, but after Bolton closed, Ash picked up probably about 300 students, and so it's like 1,500 students now, by far the largest high school in Rapides Parish, and doing great things in sports as they have done in the last few years. So good stuff for them.
And then Peabody, Pineville, Tioga are right next to each other, I think.
Yeah, I think Pineville is probably 1,200, and Tioga is like 900, and everybody's, and Peabody's right there in the middle of that.
Peabody's 11, I think.
Is it that right? Okay. So
I think Pineville's only 1,100 students.
Oh, are they? Okay.
Yeah.
So, well, very good. Well, I drop one off at one. My wife drops one off at the other, and that's how we roll in the mornings.
Are you annoyed by that?
By the dropping off?
Well, you have to split it up.
Well, my joke is that my son had to go to Tioga because Pineville wasn't big enough for both of them.
There you go.
He didn't want to be in his sister's shadow, and so he wanted his own experience. And since we have open enrollment, that's not it's not really a hardship thing. You can take advantage as long as the parent's willing to provide the transportation, which we are. So it's not that far. Tioga, actually, if my wife and I leave at the same time, sometimes she'll beat me back to the house, depending on traffic.
Tom Boucher, the Pineville City Councilman, he went to Menard. He goes, I just saved my money and paid for my own way to go to Menard back in the day.
And, it's really funny because I don't know if Tom's listening or not, but there was a comment at one point years ago, like 20 years ago, somebody made a comment about, Tom was born with a silver spoon, went to Menard. And he's like, dude, y'all don't know the yards that I mowed and the work that I did. He paid his own. And that moment, really had a tremendous respect for him and he's always been that way. If he wants something, he works for it and gets it. So
Sophia wants to go to a private school. She better start working now because you can't pay for it with some lawn mowing now.
All right, we'll talk about Sophia in private school and the GoFundMe right after this.
Right.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics.
It's the ultimate bourbon tasting competition. Battle of the Bourbon. And your chance to drink, vote, and win. Here's how. Local restaurants have crafted unique bourbon experiences for you to savor. See the restaurant list at battleofthebourbon.com. Visit each restaurant, enjoy their carefully crafted bourbon cocktails. Pay attention to the taste, the savor, and the overall experience. Then cast your vote for the restaurant that impressed you most online at battleofthebourbon.com. Participants who have visited a restaurant and voted will periodically win prizes, including gift cards, prize packs, experiences, and more. The Battle of the Bourbon competition ends September 30th, and the winner will be announced on October 1st. Plus, there are other ways to win. Tag the restaurants you visit and share your experience at hashtag Bourbon Battle Cenla to win for best photos. May the best bourbon experience win. Visit explorelouisiana.com to plan your trip today. Attention all real estate agents, property owners, and lenders. When you or a client needs a real estate attorney, call the professionals at Thompson Law Firm. Whether the legal matter is basic or complex, the Thompson Law Firm can accurately guide you or your client to a successful outcome. That's why numerous industry professionals have trusted the Thompson Law Firm for years. They also handle estate planning, successions, and business law. Call them at 473-0052. I am a paid non-client attorney spokesperson.
Great news, everybody. Karen is back at Wilmore's Mobile and Sub Express, located right there at the intersection of North MacArthur Drive and Bayou Rapides Road. Hungry for breakfast? Karen will hook you up with biscuits, croissants, subs, and all the hot coffee you can handle. Just stop by any weekday morning from 6 a.m. till 9 and get your day started right. It's breakfast just the way you like it. Fresh, hot, and satisfying. Now I'm hungry. At Wilmore's Mobile and Sub Express on MacArthur Drive at Bayou Rapides Road.
Now back to Talk Back, 970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYO.
Welcome back to Talkback for Tuesday, 9/16, the 16th day of September. And Stephen Maxwell, Nathan Martin here with you with the BOM Talk Line, 318-442-8255. Give us a call this morning. You're not listening at 1.5 speed. I just talk really fast.
We could talk more about books if you don't call in. I mean, me and Nathan got a lot of books we got to talk about. Have a little book study.
Yeah, that's right. We could have the book club, the Tuesday morning book club. We'll add that to our restaurant reviews.
We should have a book club. I would say every other month you have to finish a book.
I average like 1.5 books a month. I read on Kindle all the time.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so I alternate between pleasurable and heavy. So I probably have 15 books I'm partially through, but I'll read religious books, I'll read psychology books, understanding human condition, and I'm reading a great crime drama right now by a former U.S. forces who became Secret Service and married the vice president's daughter, and then they tried to kill her, and he's out for revenge, so that's my light reading.
Honestly, if you want to write an interesting piece of political fiction that'd probably be #1 bestseller, just do the past 15 years of America.
Oh, my goodness. Don't you know it?
It's crazy.
So don't forget, coming up next hour, we're going to be talking to the folks from the Home Builders Show, talking about the event that will be coming up at the Laborde Earls Coliseum, not the Coliseum, the Entertainment Center. And so we're excited to have that topic. I've been to the home show many times. I've had friends that have worked it, but the Home Builders Association puts on their Central Louisiana Home and Product Show, and James Crane will be in to talk about that. I'm not sure if Tommy Penton's coming with him or not, but we'll have a great conversation. That's big sponsors there, Coburn's Kitchen and Bath Showroom and Bigfoot Electric and AC. And they're going to have some big news coming up out of that. That's coming up on September the 20th. And then Jimbo Thiels will be here in the second half of that hour talking about the Rapides Parish Fair. And we'll maybe reminisce about people's favorite events, favorite parts of the fair. Is Sophia going to the fair this year?
We'll see. Probably.
Yeah.
Probably during the day if we can.
Yeah, definitely. There's some great stuff. The kiddie rides are great, and get her candied apple and some what's that stuff that they make with the sugar?
Funnel cakes.
Yeah, funnel
cotton
cake.
candy.
Cotton candy. That's what I was looking for. Good thing of cotton candy. All right, folks, we killed hour number 1. We have unalived hour number 1.
There you go.
Stick around. Hour number 2 is coming up. We'd love to have your phone calls to our guests and make sure we get a chance to hear about the great things going on in Central Louisiana. Thanks for being a part of Talkback today.
You've been listening to Talkback. The opinions expressed were those of the hosts and callers, and not necessarily those of Cenlaw Broadcasting. AM 970, FM 104.9, KSYL, and KRRV 100.3, HD3, Alexandria. This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. Acting legend Robert Redford is gone. His agent says he died in his sleep at his home in the mountains outside Provo, Utah. Correspondent Steve Kathan looks back.
For decades, Robert Redford was the essence of big screen charm.
I'll jump first. No, then you jump first. No, I said. What's the matter with you? I can't swim.
Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid with Paul Newman launched a string of iconic roles stretching from the 1960s into the 80s.
I'm Bob Woodward of the Washington Post.
There was All the President's Men in 1976 about Watergate. Redford was also an Oscar-winning director, the force behind the Sundance Film Festival, and involved in several environmental causes.
What made Redford a legend? Syracuse University's Robert Thompson.
Robert Redford dominated American film acting in the 1970s, from Butch Cassidy to All the President's Men, and then went on to dominate a lot of film directing in the 1980s.
Robert Redford, dead at the age of 89. The 22-year-old accused of killing conservative activist Charlie Kirk is set to appear virtually at court in Utah this afternoon. CBS's Katrina Kaufman from Provo.
The judge will be in the courtroom here at the courthouse, but he's coming in via WebEx, we've been told. This is an opportunity for him to first hear the charges against him, and we're still waiting for those final charges.
The Salt Lake County District Attorney says a 71-year-old man in the crowd at Utah Valley University who falsely claimed he killed Kirk was a known attention seeker who tried to distract authorities from the real gunman. Luigi Mangione, 27-year-old accused of killing United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson, is scheduled to appear at court in New York City this hour. Former federal prosecutor Lori Levinson.
What we have here is a series of issues that will be addressed in court. They range from a motion to dismiss the case, claiming that this is not a murder as an act of terrorism, to a really important motion to exclude evidence, including a handwritten manifesto.
Mangione faces state and federal murder charges. In Gaza City, large explosions and flashes across the skyline as Israel began the main phase of its offensive to destroy Hamas. Never mind higher prices, Americans are still spending. Business analyst Jill Schlesinger.
Retail sales were up by 0.6% in the month of August. That is twice the pace that was expected. And this despite sentiment indicators that show a souring of feelings about the economy.
The Federal Reserve begins a crucial two-day meeting on interest rates today. Dow futures down 26. This is CBS News.
Progressive Insurance, with insurance for cars, home, boat, motorcycles, RVs, and commercial vehicles at 1-800-PROGRESSIVE and Progressive.com.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Louisiana Radio Network, I'm Sean Burns. An international organization is urging us all not to fool around on train tracks. Here's Andre Champagne.
Louisiana is among the states where pedestrian deaths by trains have been the most prevalent in the last year.
We've probably had 11 deaths for trespassing.
That's why Operation Lifesaver is taking this week to raise awareness of the dangers of hanging out on train tracks when you're not supposed to. State Coordinator Nan Arthur says part of the Think Train Week initiative is to urge people not to walk along the tracks.
People are using noise-canceling headphones
and walking on the tracks, well, they can't hear the train, especially if it's quiet.
Arthur says not only is it dangerous to walk on railroad tracks, but it's also illegal, and you can be fined for it. I'm Andre Champagne.
A woman is dead in what police in Bossier City are calling a murder attempted suicide during a mental health crisis. Sergeant Sean Poudrier says a SWAT team was brought in and forced its way into the apartment, confronting the man who was armed.
During the course of making entry, he fired a couple of rounds, striking 2 of our officers.
LRN.
Louisiana forests once fueled our economy. Your granddad logged these woods. So did your dad. And now, Beaver Lake Renewable Energy is keeping that legacy alive, turning thinnings and wood byproducts into clean fuel right here in Pineville. It means more jobs, stronger forests, and a future that honors where Central Louisiana came from. Be part of Louisiana's next chapter. Visit BeaverLakeRenewable.com and find out how we're putting Central Louisiana back on the map.
Good morning, our Tuesday. Looks like another warm day with sunny skies. Mixture of sunshine and clouds, actually. Afternoon highs near 94 degrees. Could see a stray shower or a thunderstorm this afternoon. That's the first time we've said that in a while, but only about a 20% chance. 68, the overnight low tonight under partly cloudy skies. And tomorrow looks like more of the same, partly cloudy with that chance of an afternoon shower or thunderstorm. From the Cenla Broadcasting Weather Center, I'm Dave Gratian.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics. With 18 providers and 3 locations, someone can see you today.
It's Talkback, Central Louisiana's longest-running talk show. Whether it's the guests or the callers, Talkback is where Central Louisiana begins its conversation.
Well, good morning. Welcome back to Talk Back on Tuesday. Stephen Maxwell, Nathan Martin here in the studio with a couple of special guests. We've got James Crane and Tommy Pinion from the Home Builders Association, and they've got a very special event coming up, the Central Louisiana Home and Product Show, coming up September 20th. Guys, thank y'all for being in the studio this morning.
Thank you for having us. We appreciate every time y'all let us come in.
Well, the 20th is not that far away. It's Saturday, right?
That is Saturday. It is right around the corner. It feels like we've been working on this about, 6 months, and it feels like it just started yesterday, and you never feel like you got everything done, but I keep on checking the boxes, and we do. So it's going to be a great show.
Awesome. So, okay, kind of give us a rundown what people can expect. I know you guys have been doing this for quite some time.
So the Home Builders Association always has a show every year. And the show consists of tradesmen and different things in our trades with the home building industry. And there's going to be booths set up. There's going to be booths for fixtures. There's going to be plumbers there. There's going to be remodeling people there. There's pool people, two flooring stores. Hey, just come out, look at all the booths. There's going to be a lot of free giveaways. There's just different things going on at the show that we're going to have a good time with.
And y'all got a couple of really big sponsors, your key sponsors that are leading. I mentioned on the last hour, Coburn's, I believe, is one of your title sponsors, which is a lot of home fixtures and appliances.
Yes, without doubt. So Coburn's has always been a great supporter of ours. And not only that, but of Central Louisiana, they're like a cornerstone of plumbing fixtures and anything plumbing. Every plumber in town goes over there and uses their services. And those folks always step up and really look out for the industry and really do support us in every way that they can. We also have Bigfoot, the new company.
You found Bigfoot?
Well, I have it on good word that he will be at the show.
Get out of town.
I don't know if he's signing autographs. And I tried to get him to come on this morning, but he wouldn't do nothing but grunt. He goes, he don't really talk. So
you only saw him in passing as he was walking by.
Yeah.
Profile.
Yeah. But Bigfoot's going to be there.
Now, let's mention Bigfoot. We're talking jokingly about the character, but there's a company called Bigfoot.
Bigfoot Electric and AC, formerly Atlas Air.
Okay.
They are... They rebranded, and he's doing an awesome job over there. That guy likes to have fun with his business, and he is awesome.
I've seen some of it when he was called Atlas. They had these commercials, these guys playing football, tackling each other, and crazy. I mean, they obviously have a good time. So is this the first year you've had 2 title sponsors?
This is the first year. Last year, the show was in Pineville, and we actually grew out of the venue.
Right.
So we came over here to the Laborde Earls Center this year. And I don't think we're going to grow out of it this year. You can put twice as many vendors in this arena than you could over there. So we're going to have plenty of space to move around on. And like I said, there's going to be everything at this show. We even have Winfield. Mr. Tommy.
We have the Winfield Animal Rescue for those people looking for a new member of their family. They will be having lots of dogs and cats for rescue and for adoption. It's going to be a fantastic time. And also on an informative booth, we have the 811 people will be there. There is some new law changes.
Is that the Louisiana Dig?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And there's some new law changes that no one knows about. So we're going to try to get this out there into the public.
Good.
And it affects everybody, even to the real estate person putting their for sale sign in the yard.
Really?
It affects everybody.
Wow. Well, folks need to pay attention to that.
Yes, sir.
Now, we talk about who would want to come to a home builder show. I mean, we're not saying you have to be in the home building industry to come. You've got to, basically, if you have an interest in your home, any kind of improvement, landscaping, lighting, anything.
There's going to be custom builders, remodelers, credit unions. They'll talk about mortgages, banks, security systems, windows and doors, garage doors, vacuum cleaners, brick companies, cabinet companies, pool. If it's something to do with the industry, they should be someone there to talk to you about it. But I go one step further. Every single one of these vendors that I'm speaking of probably need help. So if you're looking for a job, you probably come to a booth and talk to someone, and you might be able to find some work. Our industry, they talk about the economy not doing too great, but our industry is doing really well. As far as we can't find enough help to do all the work that needs to be done. So every one of these vendors will also probably be happy to give you an application.
Isn't that something? I'm so impressed with the emphasis locally through CLTCC in the trades and trying to help people understand. You know, you as a young person can graduate high school, go get a certification in something, whether it's welding or electrical work or plumbing work, get your certification and walk into a job that'll pay you a lot of money.
Good money, a good substantial wage that'll help you make a living.
And you don't have to go offshore for 2 weeks at a time.
No, you don't.
Or I'll borrow $150,000.
Yeah,
okay, there you go. To go to school.
And by the way, CLTCC will be there with their interactive truck as well.
Oh, nice.
Doing their thing. They're always involved and support us. We also have a student chapter with the Home Builders Association, and we have Gina High School, Tioga High School, and Grant High School that we have chapters in, and they'll be there too. They'll have some things that they've built and that they're raising money for that we're helping them with. We like to really try to get the young folks into the trades. Like I said, every one of these vendors need help, and that is our help that's coming up.
There's some great giveaways going on too. I mean, in the past, I've seen people giving away Yeti coolers and grillers and smokers, and I mean, some really nice stuff.
I always got nice things. I don't know if he's going to do it at our show, but the Bigfoot's running around giving away $500 right now.
What?
If you can find Bigfoot during the day, then he's got a little contest going out. If you hit him up on Facebook, you'll see that.
No way.
I have a gut feeling that he might be doing something to home show. I'm not sure.
Well, is there a Bigfoot sighting in your future? There could be on Saturday at the Home Builder Show.
Maybe he'll be at Coburn's. Who knows?
Well, that'd be great. The guys working together.
Yeah.
So typically, though, those are like registrations. You go to different booths, you drop off your information to register for it, and then they'll call out. Do they call out the gifts during the show, or do you have to be present to win? Do you know, or is everybody?
So we will be calling them out towards the end of the show, but you do not have to be present to win. If you're not there, well, then we'll make sure we call you.
Just make sure you leave a good phone number so they can call you and tell you, you won.
That's right. You won. And your information will not be used on anything else. We'll throw that away right afterwards.
Oh, that's honorable. That's
and for the kids, Barksdale got a little special treat. You go by their booth and get a ticket, free ice cream on the outside.
No way.
Yeah.
For Barksdale?
Barksdale Credit Union.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, now, I think there's a small fee. Is there a fee to get in?
It's a $5 fee to get in.
That's a reasonable amount to come get all the goodies. You'll get more than $5 worth of goodies given to you.
So you'll get a little show bag when you walk in the door, and then every booth has little giveaways or whatnot that they usually do. I know at my particular booth, I'm just going to have a handful of candy.
Well, we might need one of those stress balls where Steve and I can throw at each other when we're stressed out over a caller or topic that we can't get off.
Good idea. Or build a wall or something.
Great deal. So do you mind sharing some of the vendors who will be there?
No, not at all. Of course, we have Coburn's and Bigfoot. They're going to both have really nice big displays. Coburn always wins the best displays. Of course, they're ladies over there. They put a little extra effort into that situation. And then we're going to have Scott Wallace with Mallet Construction. He's a custom home builder. Clico, they'll be there talking about injury efficiency and stuff. Barksdale, of course, ADT Security, Jim Olivier Homes, they do windows and doors and exterior things, roofing. Mikhail Gray, he's another remodeler in town. He'll be there talking about what he has to offer. Rainbow Clean, which is vacuum cleaners. They always come. They're a big supporter. Bradley Brick, and of course Home Outlet. And that's just a few. We probably have about, if I had to guess, I haven't got the numbers right here in front of me, but I think we have 25 vendors. Plus, that's vendors that are participating in the show. We also have like the dog people and maybe a couple other charity vendors that we have there.
That's great. Plenty of parking, easy to get to. Definitely outgrew the space in Pineville last year, I know. And parking's not going to be a problem. It also avoids the traffic congestion with the construction over there in Pineville going on right now.
And equipment share will be there too. You talk about outside. We got things on the outside to try to get attention to the place. They're going to have their big booms up, and hopefully we'll have maybe a fire truck or something hanging some flags. So we want some excitement happening.
So that's this Saturday at the Laborde Earls Event Center next to the Coliseum. What time does it start?
It starts at 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock, all right.
And goes till 6 o'clock.
Oh, wow. What time is LSU playing on Saturday? Anybody know?
I do not.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
Well, that's all day they can go between.
Right, there you go. Somebody might have the game on there.
Yeah, it's quite possible.
So I know, like, a really big hot topic right now is standby generators. Will you have people there that offer those?
So that's what Bigfoot AC does.
Oh, okay.
He's a big time generator guy.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm sure there'll be some other folks there too. Off the top of my head, he's the one I know for sure that does.
Very good.
That.
Well, I mean, we're halfway through hurricane season, but we're only halfway through hurricane season, so
which has been pleasantly quiet this year.
Thank God. Let's knock on wood for sure. Yeah. All right. Well, good deal. But so how long is the home builders? Have y'all been doing this? I mean, it's been a long time. I remember it 25 years ago.
I've personally only been involved for about 11 years. I know that before me, it was at least 25 years.
Yeah.
So it's been around Central Louisiana for a long time, and along with technology, the Home Builders Association has had to morph as well, and it's growing into something a little different. We're leaning a lot towards the students and getting students into the trades, because the tools that you used 25 years ago, you don't even use those no more. Air tools, which were the cream de la creme back then, and now everybody has a battery operated nail gun. So the world has changed in construction, and it changes every day.
So do you mind, tell us about the Home Builders Association itself. Do y'all have regular meetings? How does somebody join? Tommy?
I'll let Tommy handle that.
I'll step in on that. Yes, sir. We've been in the area probably close to 30 years. I actually was fortunate enough to become the state president at one time, so I walked that ladder and even got on the national scene. So the home builders have been around quite a while. What we do, we're basically a PAC organization that we watch the codes. Our goal is safe, affordable housing. So we really watch those code changes that's going to affect the cost of the houses and the safety.
Very good. So you're making sure that the houses that are constructed are up to code. You're promoting safety, and you're promoting each other.
Absolutely. And now our big emphasis now is, like James says, student chapters. At any given moment, there's 300,000 jobs open in our country, construction jobs, and we got to work to fill that. And I was actually charged with that on a state level several years ago. And I couldn't find the workforce.
Wow.
And then I ran into Dr. Eric Smith, who was over the FFA in Louisiana at that time. And he and I hit it off, and he took me into a carpentry competition in Shreveport. And I said, whoa, I just found the workforce. Here they are. These FFA kids are unbelievable. Their lives are structured. They've been working on Daddy's truck and his tractor since they were 10 years old. They know how to work. They're ready to work. So that's what we're going to get that group, and we're going to nurture that group a little bit.
Get those chapters going in the local schools. So you said there's 3 local schools that have home builders chapters.
Yes, sir. Now we have 2 down in North Shore, Louisiana also, and 1 in Lafayette. So we're slowly integrating it across the state.
Who'd have thunk it? That's
Who
awesome.
would have thunk it? I agree.
So now you mentioned the prize that Coburn's has often won. Do y'all have prizes for vendors, like competition on booths and stuff?
So there's a first, second, and third place prize on the best booth. I'm so happy I'm not a judge because that really gets a little hectic.
Yeah.
All the people do so wonderful with their booths. There's some people that come in there and they just put out their table and have some pamphlets, but there's some of us that go really all out, and it's just fun. It's a fun, friendly competition. The world's don't have enough fun, friendly competition in it no more.
That's great. I'll admit it. I've seen the Coburn's booth. They have always been phenomenal. They have a bathtub. You can crawl up in there and, feel like you're walking into a living room or whatever. It's very, very nice. So, good stuff coming up Saturday, starting at 8 o'clock?
8 o'clock, 8 to
6 at the Laborde Earls Event Center next to the Coliseum. Guys, thank y'all for coming in today.
Thank you. Follow the Home Builders on the Facebook, and you'll get to see about 100 videos I make. I'm so tired of making videos. So I don't know how you do it.
Yeah. Some days the editing part is kind of ugh.
Yeah. Mine are not edited. You get what you get.
I got you. So what is the Facebook page? Is it Cenla?
Home HBA of Cenla.
HBA of Cenla.
Yes.
Home Builders Association
of Central Louisiana. Yeah.
All right, James Crane, Tommy Pena, thank you guys for coming in today.
Thank you, guys.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics. With 18 providers and 3 locations, someone can see you today.
One big, beautiful bill. A signature achievement for President Trump. The decisive vote to get it done in the U.S. Senate? Louisiana's Bill Cassidy. Cassidy stood with Trump to provide historic investments in border security. Together, they delivered critical tax relief for working families. And the Trump-Cassidy law will boost manufacturing and energy production right here in America. And when President Trump needed a partner in the U.S. Senate to pass tough new penalties on fentanyl traffickers, it was Bill Cassidy who stepped up and got it done. With Trump and Cassidy, you can count on one thing: a conservative agenda for Louisiana and America. Call Senator Cassidy at 225-929-7711. Thank him for standing with President Trump and for fighting and winning for Louisiana and America. Paid for by Louisiana Legacy Policy Solutions, Inc.
Craving mouth-watering barbecue and juicy steaks? Head on over to Cole's Barbecue and Steakhouse, the top barbecue and steakhouse in Alexandria. Our warm and welcoming atmosphere is the perfect setting for a night out with friends or a family dinner. Indulge in our premium barbecue and steaks, fresh salads, and handcrafted burgers. Come as you are, we're ready to serve you. Visit Cole's Barbecue and Steakhouse today on Coliseum Boulevard across from the Rapides Parish Coliseum. Expect real good food.
I recently discussed a couple of travel scams, fake invoices demanding easy pass payments that I recently fell for, and the story of a passenger who called United Airlines and was apparently mistakenly transferred by a United reservationist to a scamster who put $17,000 on the poor guy's credit card. Here's how easy it is for bad guys who want to capture your credit card information to replicate legitimate websites. From America's #1 travel radio show, this is your Arm World Travel Minute. I'm Rudy Maxo. Using a tool powered by artificial intelligence, available on dark websites, a bad guy can enter the URL of a legitimate website and ask AI to clone it with a very slight variation, and then to add additional pages to capture your financial information. The whole process can be done in minutes. Cybersecurity experts recommend going only to a company's official website. Hilton-deals.com is not the same as Hilton.com. Be wary of any message posing as an invoice that demands payment immediately. Be especially careful when using your phone to go online, as it's more difficult to read a URL. Dispute any bogus charge to your credit card immediately. When it comes to the internet, be careful out there. More travel info at armworldtravel.com.
If you'd like to take part in the show today, call the BOM Bank Talk line at 442-8255. That's 442-TALK. And remember, if you're looking to purchase or refinance your home, call Christina Bagwell at the BOM Bank Mortgage Department at 448-2430.
Talk back. To take part in the show, call 442-8255. That's 442-TALK.
Well, good morning. Welcome back to Talk Back on this terrific Tuesday. That's the only word I get to say, terrific Tuesday, because I'm not here Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. I'd have to come up with another terrific Monday, terrific Thursday. Stephen Maxwell, the man about town who is busy with all things Cenla, was telling us yesterday that COVID incidences are on the increase in Cenla.
Yeah, went to Rapides Regional. They told us that they have gone up from 20 cases per month 2 or 3 months ago. It's about up to 200. Not unusual, nothing to panic about. It's just the general summer spike that we see. The cases, they say, are less severe than usual. They have been seeing some GI issues affiliated with this one. But unless you're immunocompromised, young, old, don't panic, just the normal kind of stuff.
It's kind of funny because COVID's only been around for a little while, but they said this is the normal spike. I'm like, it's only been here for a couple of years. How's it normal? But
I guess 5 years
They cracked
now.
it enough to see. And I have friends near me who have been diagnosed with it recently. And so, yeah, it's out there, and just keep washing your hands and, take your normal precautions, right?
Yep.
Just like you would with flu season.
Yep.
It'll probably be spiking up in the fall as well. So enjoyed talking to the guys from the Home Builders. Am I froze up again?
Yeah, you're frozen. His camera.
Well,
Yeah, it seems like a great event. As someone who's very interested in the getting a home eventually, might be something if you're looking at buying or looking at building in the future to kind of go check out, look at your options. Maybe if you're looking for a job, seems like a fantastic resource.
That was an interesting piece of news.
Yeah. So it's like a hidden layer of job fair, because people are hiring,
Right.
and they're looking for work. And I kind of wanted to ask too, or we can do this another time. How many homes are they building compared to a couple of years ago? Is it on the rise? Is it falling?
You're going to go over there Friday and kind of talk to them, and you might get a chance to ask them then and see their setup. Interesting. I did not yet look up the LSU game and conflict this weekend. So Fed is meeting this week. Will we have a interest cut is the big question.
What do you mean? Oh, an interest rate cut?
Yeah, interest rate cut. They're meeting this week, if I recall.
What, maybe look like at a 1/4 percentage point if it does?
That's what's being projected.
I gotcha. Well, I mean, personally, I don't want it to drop too much until about 7-8 months from now, whenever I'm starting to buy. So,
well, you want it to drop a little bit,
yeah,
a little bit, and a little bit, but not so much that all the good houses are taken.
And everyone's jumping in the market all of a sudden. So, very selfish, very focused on me there, but I've been waiting a long time.
All right, Southeastern Lions will be visiting LSU Tigers this Saturday at 6:45 p.m. So,
that's boring.
Not much competition there. It will be on ESPN, Fubo, Sling TV, YouTube TV, if you have subscriptions to those. But
I know the money benefits those smaller schools.
Right.
They get paid lots of money, but it's just kind of a waste of time. Like, it's not entertainment. It's not fun. I guess it's fun for the fans, at least. You just want to beat up on somebody.
Yeah.
After a hard-fought SEC game, but
a little
NFL
tune-up,
is hard
maybe,
every game.
But you better, they better win big. They didn't win big against Tech, and
No, they
everybody's
didn't.
like, what? So I think a 20-10 victory over Florida is a good victory. But
Sure.
But I do. If it wasn't for that defense, they would have struggled because they couldn't really sustain drives. So interesting to see how they do against the Southeastern Louisiana Lions. And you're like, who? Yeah.
If they don't win by 70, they got a problem.
I tell you what, Pineville High School scored 69 points against the Voiles, but 69 points for Pineville High.
Is the Voiles bad? Obviously.
It's just
I
a
guess.
smaller school, right?
Well, the Voiles used to be pretty decent.
Yeah.
In their class.
So Pineville has on a 2-0 win streak right now under Coach Justin Charles, and they traveled to New Iberia, who was in the state championship last year, and defeated them like 44-34, and then beat the Voiles 69-14. Their PAT kicker was 6 of 7 for PATs. He missed one, but he got 6 of them. So looking forward to this Friday night. It's going to be a huge game. Tioga travels to Pineville. That's the rivalry. That's always the big game of the season outside of conference play. So there's a interesting.
Who's going to win?
Well, I think Pineville's going to win. Although I have my son's at Tioga and my daughter's at Pineville. So, but I'm a homer. I'm going to pull for Pineville. Got to. Interesting little bit of a conflict time wise. There's that ball memorial for Charlie Kirk at Ball Town Hall. at 6:30 Friday. So that's going to create a little conflict for folks. If you got kids in the band or the cheerleaders or on the football team, you need to be there at the school supporting your kids. And then others may feel conflicted. They want to go and show their support for Charlie Kirk. So that's coming up Friday at 6:30. You can go to Ball Town Hall, has it. Councilman Mark Mercer, I think he's one of the hosts of it. Clayton Baden, who was a guest here, one of the keynote speakers as a member of Turning Point. And talked to my daughter. There's talk about starting the Turning Point chapter at Pineville High School. So I've read that over 30,000 applications for chapters have come in. So it's definitely spurring some response. Folks want to pay attention to those events coming up. All right, well, we got coming up in the next half hour, Jimbo Thiels from the Rapides Parish Fair will be in here. And always like talking to Jimbo. He's got good stuff to talk about, good things to share that will be taking place coming up this weekend. Or coming up for the fairs, not this weekend, but definitely want to make sure you are tuning in to that conversation with Jimbo Thiels. And coming up after this next half hour, after this break, we'll be right back.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. U.S. retail sales rose in August for a third month. It was a broad advance, rounding out a strong summer of spending. The value of retail purchases rose 0.6% after a similar gain in July. Excluding cars, sales were up 0.7%. Delta Airlines and Aeromexico are considering their next moves after the Trump administration revoked antitrust immunity for an agreement to plan and price flights together. The change takes effect in January. The administration said the airlines are the predominant competitors operating between the U.S. and Mexico City, giving them an unfair advantage. Delta said ending its joint venture with Aeromexico would hurt not just U.S. jobs, but also consumers. The Fed kicks off its two-day policy meeting today. Stock futures this morning have been mixed. The S&P 500 and the NASDAQ both start out at new record highs after yesterday's gains. Gina Cervetti, Bloomberg Radio.
All of us have that one friend who can just light up the room with a smile. And sadly, how many of us are just a little bit envious of that friend? Well, here's the good news. The folks over at Today's Dental in Pineville can deliver that beautiful beaming smile. Over the years, hundreds of hopeful patients have visited and been completely satisfied. They've made getting dental implants an amazingly simple, low-anxiety procedure, one that's affordable for anyone's budget. The staff at Today's Dental go out of their way to make you feel comfortable with calming in-office IV sedation that's administered by a highly skilled, certified nurse anesthetist. And their multiple finance options make the entire procedure truly affordable. Isn't it your turn to light up that room? Give Today's Dental a call at 448-4540. It's a general dental facility on Highway 28 East in Pineville, owned by Dr. Jonas Gauthier. That's 448-4540.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. We're dedicated to serving people 50 and up, like me. Our needs are different. Big Wireless wants us in an unlimited plan, but if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used. At Consumer Cellular, we're focused on affordable, reliable plans, including data that suits your needs, not ours. Our plans start at just $20, and you'll get the best customer service in the business.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Here's a tale of Becky. Didn't know what to do with new meds prescribed and no real cost clue.
She squinted at prices, that can't be right. Then tapped GoodRx and saw the light.
She can get a deal, but telehealth if she feels.
Learn about those meds without any stress. That one little app does all the rest. Even my horse downloaded it. Dang, save time and money on prescriptions.
Check GoodRx. GoodRx is not insurance.
Good morning, our Tuesday. Looks like another warm day with sunny skies. Mixture of sunshine and clouds, actually. Afternoon highs near 94 degrees. Could see a stray shower or a thunderstorm this afternoon. That's the first time we've said that in a while, but only about a 20% chance. 68, the overnight low tonight under partly cloudy skies. And tomorrow looks like more of the same, partly cloudy with that chance of an afternoon shower or thunderstorm. From the Cenla Broadcasting Weather Center, I'm Dave Gratian.
970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYL. To take part in the show, call 442-8255. That's 442-TALK. Talk back.
Welcome back to Talk Back on KSYL. Glad to have you guys along with Stephen Maxwell. This is Nathan Martin and our special guest, the legendary Jimbo Thiels, in the studio. Good morning, Jimbo.
Good morning. Oh, good morning, everybody.
How are you doing today?
I'm well, and I was just talking to one of y'all's other stars, Melissa, out front, and I was thinking maybe since Robert Redford don't need his hair anymore, maybe I could get it. 'Cause mine's not looking too good.
You had to take your hat off to put the headphones on, and reveals the continuity of time that affects us all. Stephen's got plenty of hair. He'll share some.
No, mine's going out too. It happens. Yeah,
it does happen.
But Jimbo, you're here to talk about the perennial or the annual Rapides Parish Fair that is such a wonderful event for Central Louisiana. And I'm not saying you've been around since the beginning of the fair, but you've been with it a long time.
Well, I have been, I guess, around since the whole modern fair. We've had 53 years out at the Coliseum Fairgrounds, and this will be year number 11 at the new fairgrounds.
That's amazing.
64 years altogether.
And you've been a part of it during all of that?
Well, I was a participant at the first fair at the Coliseum. Well, the Coliseum was not there. We did under tents the first couple of years, and then as the Coliseum grew out of the ground, it all came together, and we hung around there for a while.
There you go. October the 8th through the 12th. It's right around the corner.
Yes, sir.
A few weeks away. And there's so much to talk about. We need you to stick around for a little bit to talk about what's kind of like in your mind, and you think about the fair coming up, what's the first thing people need to know besides the date?
Well, we've been started a whole year. It takes us to plan everything and put everything together. And so our first event will be the Queens Contest, which will be October the 4th. We are still accepting applications for queens and also princesses and junior princesses. Remember, we had them all in here last year and filled up the room, and some of them were real little and some of them were grown-up size, and it was just nice and a lot of fun to see those really nice, outgoing young ladies.
So any female resident of Rapides Parish between the age of 16 and 21
that's correct.
Can sign up to be a contestant. And the winner of the fair, are they automatically qualified for the Miss Louisiana?
They're qualified for several festivals, Louisiana fairs and festivals, and we send them to a lot of Christmas parades, Mardi Gras parades, all sorts of things around Central Louisiana that they want to go to, and give them a scholarship out to LSUA and all kind of fun stuff.
Awesome. And so that competition is going to be October the 4th.
Right.
And that's at LSUA, right?
LSUA Theater. It's really nice there. Perfect venue, perfect size, very modern and nice. And Dr. Correll's very generous to let us use that. And it's a lot of fun. It really has turned into something special.
So October the 12th, October the 4th is coming up for that. And they're at the Mulder Hall where it's always been.
Yes.
And that they showcase their talent. They're showing their community spirit. Great evening, and then nobody knows until that night who the fair queen will be.
That's right, and it's a lot of fun, and the families come, and we it's really good time, and we don't keep you there all day, just a couple of hours, and it's really fun to see. They do a lot of singing and dancing and carrying on. And, nobody seems to get mad, so that's good.
But they kind of represent too Rapides Parish for the next year.
Yes,
so.
And they're queens for a whole year, and they come to all the events during the fair and livestock shows, hand out ribbons, trophies, talk on the microphone a little bit, help organize things, keep things flowing. It's we try to wear them out.
So if somebody wants to be a competitor or a contestant in the pageant, what do they do?
They just go to our website, therapidesparishfair.org, and they can find applications there and information on who to contact, and we'd love to hear from them.
Wonderful. Rapidesparishfair.org, and I can see it /pageant if you need to type it in, but it's right there at the very top. Just tap on the word pageant, and they'll take you right to it.
Right. And then after we get through with the Queen's Contest, we go into the real fair, and Tuesday is the horse show, and Wednesday, of course, is the first day of the carnival. A lot of stuff being entered into the fair, all the fresh fruits and vegetables, handicraft, canning, clothing, all that sort of thing, and all the animals come, and the barn will be full, and we'll have a big old time, lots of stuff going on, and everything is on the website. Please look for updates. And of course, this year is going to be extra special. We've got the Rapides Fair School Board has generously given us a permanent school day off for the fair.
Oh, nice.
We petitioned them with the fact that agriculture is on the decline as far as the number of people interested in agriculture, involved in agriculture, and we want to keep the kids who have a great agriculture spirit and interest to keep going. And so we want them to be appreciated like the football players, baseball players, basketball players, and all those folks are. And so we'll give the rest of the kids in Rapides Parish a chance to come out and see what they do. So all day on that Friday, we're going to be out of school.
Okay.
And we have all kinds of special events going on. We're going to have livestock shows starting at 9 with swine, sheep, goats, rabbits, chickens, and then we're going to have a lot of demonstrations put on by some local agriculture type businesses, as well as some federal businesses. Like Rapides Farm Bureau is going to do a demonstration on the working worm. Louisiana Egg Commission is going to be there, and they're going to do some egg trivia, as well as egg handling, which is how we see damages inside the egg, things inside the egg. And they also may give you some scrambled eggs. I guess they break a couple or something, but that's going to be a lot of fun. Then after them, we're going to have Louisiana Wildlife and Fisheries. They're going to do a demonstration or some information on hides and traps, and also they may have a live alligator, they said, and we're going to have Louisiana Cattlemen's Association is going to have information there on the cattle industry in Louisiana. We'll have the USDA Natural Resource Conservation Service is going to be there, and they're going to do a demonstration on soil and water conservation. The USDA Forest Service is going to be there, and they're going to do something on tree identification and tree aging. And we have the U.S. Corps of Engineers is going to be there, and they're going to do some stuff on water safety. And all this is to keep the kids involved all day and make it more educational, as well as the shows going on. And if that's not enough, the LSUA is having a new agriculture school starting this year, and we're going to have some folks there who can tell any children that want to go to LSUA instead of some school far off to study agriculture, get an agriculture degree. They'll be able to get some information right there about what's available at LSUA, what you have to do, and where you can go from there.
Very good. Jimbo Fields of the Rapides Parish Fair Association. I got some more questions for you. We got a phone call coming in. Right. Stephen needs to know, though, where does he sign up to be a food judge? That's the most important thing.
Oh, hey, just ask, and it can be taken care of, I promise you.
Well, I used to judge poultry back in high school. I was pretty good.
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
I was like a blue ribbon.
You know the difference between the chicks.
That's right. Just chicken.
Chicken chicks.
My wife is
no chicks.
Yeah, all right, so let's take this commercial. We'll be back with more Jimbo Fields of the Rapides Parish Fair Association.
KSYL. Storms, tornadoes, power outages. It's the season, so get prepared. Get storm ready with Southern Air. Get a free estimate on a generator, the right generator for your home and family, plus 0% financing for 60 months with approved credit. Let Southern Air help you take the worry out of hurricane season. Take action now. Visit southernairnow.com and let us bear it. Or give us a call at 318-777-5555. Keep the lights on with Southern Air.
Attention all real estate agents, property owners, and lenders. When you or a client needs a real estate attorney, call the professionals at Thompson Law Firm. Whether the legal matter is basic or complex, the Thompson Law Firm can accurately guide you or your client to a successful outcome. That's why numerous industry professionals have trusted the Thompson Law Firm for years. They also handle estate planning, successions, and business law. Call them at 473-0052. I am a paid non-client attorney spokesperson.
Tired of noisy neighbors? Want to keep pets in and problems out? Sounds like you need a Promo fence. At Promo Fencing and Lawn Care, our fences don't just work, they wow. From classic cedar and pine privacy fences to durable chain link, sleek metal, and aluminum, even decorative fencing. We've got something for every home, yard, or business, big or small, residential or commercial, all with free estimates, expert installs, and small town customer care. Promo Fencing and Lawn Care, fences that feel like home.
970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYL. Now back to Talk Back.
Welcome back to Talk Back. Jimbo Fields of the Rapides Parish Fair Association with us in studio. We had a caller that dropped off during the break. If you have a question about the fair, give us a call, 318-442-8255. That's the BOM talk line, 318-442-8255. Fair is 22 days away. It's right around the corner. That's 3 weeks, and everybody's getting especially the contestants, are getting their stuff ready, whether they're competing with an animal showing or a food showing or a quilt showing. Lots of great opportunities for folks to show off their prowess in the different categories. What are some of the different kinds of shows that will be taking place that week?
Well, we have, all the livestock shows, all different species, and we have all the like I said, the baconing and all that kind of stuff will be going on in the mega shelter, fresh vegetables. We have a egg contest where kids bring in a half dozen eggs from their farm, and they're all judged, and just unbelievably all handicraft and all the things that the kids do. A lot of studies on environmental issues.
If you could talk a little closer to that mic.
Okay.
There we go.
A lot of studies on environmental issues and child care and tree identification and stuff like that. That collections of all kinds and painting and photography, just everything you can think of will be inside that building that our local kids do. Especially we have senior citizens group from all of the senior citizen centers come over. We have their exhibits, and we have special school exhibits. So lots of things to look at there as well. You were talking about Tioga High School earlier today. Their FFA ag classes are going to be doing concessions underneath the DeWitt building all during the fair week while we're having our shows going on.
Nice.
Thursday is going to be what we call field trip day at the fair, and we have lots of school kids signed up to come to field trips with their teachers. We're going to give those kids tours of all different animals, as well as they'll get to see a lot of these same demonstrations going on Thursday that we talked about are going to be on Friday for the higher grades. There's no admission charge, no forms to fill out, but we would like to know how many different classes are coming. So you can get that information to call Jane Petrus or send her an email and let them know that you're bringing your class out. And we don't need a whole lot of notice. And then they'll also be able to go to the barnyard nursery. Mm-hmm. Just lots of fun stuff to do.
Well, one of the big topics that people enjoy, the big days, is Senior Day. What day will that be?
That will be Friday morning. And that's going to be going on right opposite the other educational types things. And what I'm excited about it is that you're going to have the kids there for all the educational type stuff. And then we're going to have all the senior citizens in the other part of the building doing the Senior Citizens Day function. And so the kids can really get together with their grandparents and say, "Hey, Grandma, bring me to the fair. I'll bring you to the fair this year. You can go. I'll bring you to Senior Citizens Day, and you can bring me to the carnival afterwards, and we'll all have a great time together." So,
all right. I'm going to go to the phone line. I just need you to talk a little closer to the mic. It'll give us a little better quality there. Let's go to the phone line. That's okay. Good morning. You're on the line with Jimbo Fields.
Jimbo, really don't know you, never met you, but I really do appreciate what you do for Central Louisiana, and your dedication and volunteerism speaks volume about your love for the community and what goes on and what you do throughout Central Louisiana. Really, really do appreciate you. I know you don't get the kudos that you deserve, and we take so much of this stuff for granted, but really do appreciate what you do. So thank you for sharing with us.
Oh, you're certainly welcome. I believe you deserve a free meal at Tunks or something. Some kind of payment for those kind words.
That was very kind, caller. Thank you for that.
Thank you very much.
You kind of made him blush a little bit. Appreciate that call. 318-442-8255. Jimbo, what he says is true. So many things we take for granted, especially that have been here so long. We think, well, there's always going to be a fair, but there wouldn't be a fair without some dedicated volunteers. Who are some of the people that make the fair happen each year besides yourself?
Well, we have a full board, people from all over the parish, and like Jane Petrus already mentioned her, Matt Martin, retired county agent, Robbie Andrews, Eric Deals, Peggy Williams, just there's too many. I can't remember them all.
Yeah.
I can see them all sitting around that table when we ask them questions, and they're fussing at me for messing up something. But we work all year doing different things, trying to bring new ideas and new things to create excitement. So we don't want the fair to be stale. We want it to be new and fresh and crisp, and things that they can see someplace else, but we want to bring them here to home so everybody can enjoy them.
Well, thank you all for bringing that to us. I mentioned earlier, and you said everybody has these favorite memories, but my favorite memories of my children being young, a lot of them are centered around taking them to the fair, going to the petting zoo, going to the barnyard, of course, the rides, the food. All of those are just such precious memories for us, and you've given that to many people for many years. The fairgrounds are at 8149 Highway 71 South. Most folks just say, go past the LSUA, it'll be right there on your left.
That's right. You can't miss it. When the lights turn on, it'll be there. And since we mentioned the fair, we just need to talk a little bit about what all's going on at the fair. A little different this year. Of course, it opens Wednesday at 4 p.m. And we are going to have a special wristband offer for the fair that night, which will be $20, ride all you want. And that's a great deal. Thursday is going to be date night as usual, KWRV date night. Melissa Frost is looking for some live entertainment, a rising star type person that's going to be there on our new stage. We're going to have bleachers in front of the compliments of LSUA. It's going to be lighted and looking real nice, and everybody rides 2 for the price of 1. So you can't beat that deal. And you can stay out real late. You can tell your parents we're going to stay out real late because they don't have to go to school on Friday, and so I can sleep late on Friday morning and get out there and spend the whole day Friday and have a great time with all my friends and visit with all the kids that are doing all the things at the fair. So
all right,
it's going to be a lot of fun.
We want to talk. We got to take our final break of the hour. When we come back, talk about tickets, the special advance sale tickets, and a few other things that are coming up at the Rapides Parish Fair. Back with Jimbo Fields and more after this.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics.
This is Dr. Jonathan Hunter with The Clinics. We provide primary, family, and chronic care along with gastroenterology, podiatry with on-site lab and x-ray services. I'm pleased to welcome family physician Dr. Noah Miller to our team. We are currently accepting new patients and same-day appointments are available. If you're admitted into the hospital, our doctors will see you there as well. Most insurance and Medicare are accepted. The Clinics on North Bolton, 445-9823, and online at theclinics.us.
Is your website accessible to everyone? If it's not WCAG compliant, you could be excluding customers and opening yourself up to lawsuits. At Kinetics, we build and optimize websites that meet WCAG accessibility standards, helping you serve more people, convert more customers, and stay compliant with ADA guidelines. Don't risk it. Get your free website accessibility assessment today at kinetics.solutions. That's kinetics.solutions. Kinetics, where smart marketing works.
Got a big day ahead of you? Then it's best to fuel up with some of Cenla's best at Bricato's restaurant. Walk right in and just smell that home-style cooking. Place your order, take a seat, and do breakfast right till 9:30 this morning. Get fresh biscuits, eggs any way you like them, melt in your mouth pancakes, grits, hash browns, sausage, bacon, even wraps and sandwiches. And don't forget their fresh brewed coffee. Bricato's restaurant. 28 West, right across from the Coliseum. Your breakfast is waiting for you.
Do you want to take a vacation every day? Do you want to know where your children are all summer long? Then call A1 Pools now and have a swimming pool installed in your own backyard. A1 Pools can build your pool and have you swimming with your family before you know it. Call A1 Pools now and get a free quote. Call 318-449-2093. And financing is available. Call A1 Pools now. 318-449-2093.
Talkback. To take part in the show, call 442-8255. That's 442-TALK.
Welcome back to Talkback for Tuesday, September the 16th, the 9th month of the year. And we're 22 days, 13 hours, 6 minutes, and 38 seconds away from the fair. I get that from the RapidsParishFair.org website. It tells me right there exactly how far away the kickoff is on October the 8th. And for the last many years, there's been a great way, if you don't want to buy the armband, you can get there's like half price tickets or 2 for the price of 1 or whatever in advance here at Cenla Broadcasting that week. Tell us a little bit more about those tickets, Jimbo.
Okay, those tickets are going to be actually 50% off. So it'll be a sheet of 50 for $30, which is a little bit less than half price. And you can buy those. We're going to start them early this year. So they're going to start the week before the fair and then go into fair week up to that Thursday afternoon usually. So that's a great opportunity. You can buy your tickets at less than half price and then go out there on date night and ride 2 for the price of 1. And so it's a great time to save some money and be with your family and all your friends and just have a good time hanging out.
So you can use the tickets on the 2 for 1 night?
Oh, yes.
That is a killer deal.
Yeah, it's almost like free.
It's almost free. That's right. Well, I have bought sheets of tickets for years, and now I buy them for my grandkids because there's no better deal. And you come out here, typically they'll have the folks outside. A lot of times they'll have you just drive through, cash only.
Yes.
Get your tickets in advance, and that's a great way to be prepared to go, especially if you're on a budget. You can tell your kids, all right, guys, we have this number of tickets, and it works out really well for them.
That's right, man. We're going to start early this year and like drive in, stick your money out the window, and they'll hand you some tickets. You can keep on going. Just slow down a little bit.
Slow down through the parking lot.
That's right. While we're thinking of the carnival, one special educational type thing I forgot to mention earlier. During the carnival that Friday, we're having all the educational type things from 12 to 1 on the carnival grounds. One of the guys from the carnival is going to do some demonstrations and informational class on ride safety, ride construction. So any of the kids that are interested in mechanical engineering, physics, that sort of thing, they can come out and he's going to have a booklet for each person. They'll be able to go through what makes up a ride, how it's built, how it works, all the safety features.
Wow.
And after they get through with that, he's going to take them out to the rides and show them exactly what he's been talking about while these rides are in operation. So if you're interested in wanting to do that, if the physics teacher or mechanical engineering type teacher wants to take his class out, the teacher's not necessary, but if you want to come as a group, we want you to call us and talk to Jane Petrus or look on the website and get her email address and let her know. And the group will go over together from the mega shelter to the fairgrounds to a special tent, and it'll all operate from there. So it's going to be very educational, very fun, very interesting.
That is great. Well, opportunities abound to participate in the fair. Again, the family night wristbands on Wednesday, date night on Thursday. School's out on Friday. Get those $30 armbands.
That's right.
Saturday, also the armbands, and Sunday. I want to mention, I love what you guys have done with the food bank over the years, because you give people an opportunity to save some money on the armbands with a single can of donation.
Sausage, potted meat, it doesn't care, sardines, we don't care what it is, but any type of food that you can steal from your family's pantry, bring it to the fairground, and you'll get $3 off your armband ticket Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. So great opportunity to save some money, help the food bank. All the food will be loaded up at the end of the fair and shipped over to the food bank on a trailer, and it's a bunch, I can promise you.
Just another example of how the fair has impacted Central Louisiana for so many years. I do want to mention parking is free, but there is an admission to come into the fairgrounds or the carnival area. So is it $2?
$2. Anybody over 6.
There you go. So 5 and under are free, but over 6, $2 per person. And definitely want to be aware of that. As you come into the fairgrounds, the parking is going to be manned by personnel from the Rapides Parish Sheriff's Office. They provide people to make sure parking is safe and effective.
Right, and we have security at all the gates, and we have a fence completely surrounding the fairgrounds, and everybody has to go to a turnstile to get in, and police officer gets a good look at you when you go in, so if it looks like you're trouble, stay out.
There you go.
We're not going to put any foolishness. We want everybody to have a great time. We want to feel safe, the family to feel safe, the kids feel safe. And at the end of the day, we're going to say we had a great time because of how safe things were and how well it was handled.
Well, everybody pays attention to the carnival. The Mighty Thomas Carnival, been a part of the Ground Fair for years. Senior Day again, remind everybody.
That's Friday morning, a lot of entertainment. free food, everything geared toward the seniors, lots of health screenings of all kinds. And this is put on by all of your fine folks from the courthouse as well as the Central Louisiana Council on Aging. And it's really a fun time.
Well, the older I get, the more interesting that is.
Yes. And you got a good seat to sit in, and there's lots of door prizes. You don't have to get up; just wave your hand. They'll bring the door prize to you. So,
is that going to what is that in the evac center?
In the evac center, have all of the plants from Forest Hill Nurseries will be there, and we know how those take those plants off.
Well, the music means we got to wrap it up, Jimbo. But thank you for coming in and sharing with us about the Rapides Parish Fair. Remind everybody to get their tickets coming up here at Cenla Broadcasting. Take advantage of all the specials. And let's support our kids moving into the future. Thank you very much, Jimbo.
Thank you so much.
Come back tomorrow morning. You'll have Al and Steve back here in the studio, and they'll have a great show. Jeff Powell, the Rapides Parish School Board Superintendent, will be in the studio at 7:30. And then, of course, coming up at 8:30, Greg Walker with estate planning. A great show tomorrow. Thank y'all for being a part of this today. We'll see you then.
You've been listening to Talkback. The opinions expressed were those of the hosts and callers, and not necessarily those of Cenla Broadcasting.
AM 970, FM 104.9, KSYL, and KRRV 100.3, HD3, Alexandria.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez, a screen idol, a director, and activist. Robert Redford, who was all of those things, died today at the age of 89. Syracuse University's Robert Thompson.
Robert Redford dominated American film acting in the 1970s.
He starred in Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, The Way We Were, and All the President's Men.
All we've got are pieces. We can't seem to figure out what the puzzle is supposed to look like. John Mitchell resigns as the head of CREEP and says that he wants to spend more time with his family.
In 2008, Redford told CBS Sunday Mornings he had to work hard to get that movie made.
It took 4 years. Yeah. The studio didn't. They said politics. I don't think so. Watergate is a dead issue, and I said it's not. It's a detective story.
It went on to receive 4 Oscars. Redford also founded the Sundance Film Festival. His agent says Redford died in his sleep at his home in the mountains outside Provo, Utah. Breaking news from New York, a judge has just dismissed terrorism charges against Luigi Mangione in the state's case over the killing of a United Healthcare CEO, Brian Thompson. Judge Gregory Caro kept second-degree murder charges against the